Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Sacred Circle Community channeling and chat for September. Remember that you can always email me your requests for the Sacred Circle if you're not able to attend. That way, we'll hold that intention, we'll hold that space during our intention meditation. This eclipse energy feels like it is showing us ourselves. It feels like it is revealing more and more of ourselves. And it depends on where you are in your own journey. This could be, it is showing you what needs to be healed, what needs to be cleared, or it could be showing you how far you have come. And I had my own experiences in showing me how far I've come with some, again, challenging experiences, seeing the contrast of what I don't want, what I don't prefer, and how I handled that situation. It was pretty incredible. So let's talk about the eclipse season. This eclipse season is starting on September 7th/8th, so the Sunday into Monday. This eclipse season is big for unions. It is big for sacred partners. It is big for inner unions. It really depends on where you are, again, with regards to your sacred union ascension journey. But it is big energy. It is big energy because, again, with all the cosmic support we've been experiencing, the retrogrades, especially, some of the planets are beginning to move direct again. And so that is pushing us forward even more. Remember, retrogrades are all about the reflections, the redirections, the reevaluations. It's getting us back into alignment anywhere where we are out of alignment with ourselves. This eclipse season, specifically in the sign of Pisces, the first eclipse of the season is in the sign of Pisces. It feels like it is bringing us to the depth of our emotions. Pisces is a very emotional energy, being a water sign, being the last sign of the zodiac too. It also carries a lot of wisdom. And so it feels like there's this depth, it feels like there's this intimacy. And what I'm getting is twofold. It could be depth and intimacy within yourself, getting in touch with your emotions and your emotional wisdom. So hearing the phrase emotional congruence. So where you are coming into balance, coming into wholeness with regards to your emotions. So you're not all over the place. This feels like emotional wisdom. It feels like emotional availability, where you are getting in touch with your emotions, where you might have suppressed them in the past, where you might have held yourself back from feeling the depth of your emotions. This eclipse season is going to be pushing that forward, is going to be bringing that up to the surface. There's also the energy of intimacy with others. So you could have that intimacy with yourself or that intimacy with other people. Now, if intimacy is something that has scared you in the past, if it is something that you have refrained from based on past experiences, or where you opened up and maybe were betrayed or were shut down, or if you have a little bit of that avoidant tendency, this is going to reveal itself to you so that you can heal it, because we are relational creatures. We are meant to have connection and deep connections and intimate connections, not only with other people, but with ourselves and with the world as a whole. And what I'm hearing is this is what changes the world. Being willing to go into those depths, being willing to have those intimate experiences is actually what changes the world, because what you're doing when you're having those intimate experiences and allowing yourself to feel the full force of emotion, whatever that emotion is, what you're doing is you are actually getting in touch with the nature of your very soul. So very interesting phrases and energy that they're bringing forth tonight, where you might have been closed off or guarded, especially suppressing or repressing any depth or intimacy, again, with yourself or others. This eclipse season, especially the first eclipse happening this weekend, is going to be pushing that forward, and there's a lot of revealing that's happening. So this could be revealing in, if you're in like a little bit of a hermit mode. This could be revealing with regards to some intimate encounters that you're having with yourself, like intimate conversations, downloads, insights that you're gaining within yourself. This could also be intimate conversations or communication with others. The most important thing is that you're open. Be open. Keep that heart open rather than keeping it guarded, because that is actually what changes everything. The more you have that open heart, and I know from experience, my own experience too, that can be very hard to do. It can be very scary to do, because if you open your heart, your ego is like, mayday, mayday, mayday. We've been here before. This is challenging. This is dangerous. We've gotten hurt in the past. We've gotten betrayed. We've gotten hurt. There's been a lack of trust. Whatever has happened, mayday, mayday. We don't want to open our heart too much. just in case. But what happens when you guard your heart, when you close yourself down, is you're also missing out on the love. You're also missing out on the magic. You're also missing out on the miracle. And so trust your intuition. That's where the insight and the guidance and the wisdom comes in. Connecting to yourself, being deeply, intimately connected to yourself. Trust your intuition as far as who, when, what, where, to keep that open heart. There are certain situations where you want to keep things private, where you want to keep things sacred, where you want to keep things a little bit guarded. Especially if there are people in your life or situations in your life that is not in alignment with where you are or where you want to go. So it's what they're showing me is like a castle, right? And the treasure is in the castle. You are the castle. You are the treasure in the castle. And so sometimes you want to pull up that drawbridge, especially if there are people that you haven't built that foundation of trust with, especially if there are situations that are maybe a little bit shady that you're feeling out still. You don't have to open the gates to everybody, but especially we're talking about sacred partners here, who you can trust. Who you've built that foundation with. Where that love is. What the intention is. Not from the ego, because the ego will spin stories, but what the intention is when you're tuning into the heart space, when you're tuning into your intuition, when you're letting your soul guide you. And so that's where, when you're in connection, or you're in a conversation, or you're having experience with somebody, that that there is love there. The intentions are good intentions. That there is connection. When you're experiencing that, that's when you can lower the drawbridge and invite somebody in and share in that treasure, because they have magic and treasure to share with you too. This was an interesting metaphor, wasn't it? So this energy really feels like it is ramping up, it is amping up, it is kind of pushing us into deeper intimacy, both with ourselves and that inner union, and with others, especially with these counterpart connections. And it's going to play out along eclipse season. It's going to look different for everybody. For some, it's going to be conversations and meetups and communication. For others, it might be that you're experiencing deeper insight about the journey, about your counterpart, so that you're holding compassion, you're holding space for each other. You could have heightened dream state. Pisces, they're saying, is also, being the last sign of the zodiac, it is also very intuitive. It's a very intuitive, and that's where the depth comes in. It's a very intuitive sign. And so you might be getting activations in dream state and receiving insight, etc., in dream state as well. So this energy feels big. It feels big. And there might be a lot in flux as well. You might feel a little bit off balance, especially because this energy is so heightened right now, especially leading up to the eclipse. So this energy feels very heightened. Go back to the basics. Just keep going back to the basics. You have the tools, you have the resources now through your journey. And so keep going back to the basics to bring that balance to yourself, especially as there's a lot of heightened emotions. As I shared in my story in the beginning of this live stream, I had an experience that was the antithesis of what I wanted. It was exactly the contrast of what I wanted. But I realized that, hey, I can bring my power back to myself. I'm not disempowered here. And it felt very vulnerable. I felt very raw. I felt very kind of like bare naked, emotionally, energetically. But I realized that I am the power. Like, I can bring that power back to myself. I don't have to give anybody that power over me. It was very emotional, but I was able to work through those emotions and just bring it back to this place of peace within me and find a solution. And it was because I stayed calm. It was because I was like, this is not a big deal in the long run. It's just making me very uncomfortable. It's just triggering me. And so what is this showing me? And I realized, oh, this is showing me like how far I've come, where I was once a people pleaser, where I was once sacrificing myself for the sake of other people's comfort. I was sacrificing my own comfort, my own stability. I was sacrificing my own well-being, sacrificing my own wants and desires for other people's wants and desires or comfortability. I realized that no, like, I can speak up about what it is that I want. I can speak up about what it is that I need, that I can express myself to. And it was very empowering. It was very interesting in how it showed me and how it played out. yeah, this eclipse season, we're going to explore it further in Sacred Union energy updates. We're going to explore it further, maybe even in some Ascension energy updates if you guys like those. But the eclipse season is big. It's a powerful energy that is coming forth to really shake us up, is also what I'm getting. So, again, it's going to play out for everybody in a different way. It really depends on where you are. If you need any one on one support, I am here with guidance sessions and open to one on one guidance sessions. Just feel free to book with me. This is a powerful time for us to shake loose anything that still isn't in alignment, because you can't carry it with you. You're not meant to carry it with you. This is where we are really being asked to dive deep and shake anything loose that is holding us back from the forward motion, the forward momentum, the forward living life that we want to be in, the next level of ourselves, the next level of our life, our new identity. And so it's shaking us loose, and it's really pushing us into the version of ourselves that we've been calling in. And so you will see the beginnings of those creations, the beginning of those manifestations in your physical realm. You will see that you might have some shakeups, but it doesn't feel like bad. It just feels like shakeups to get you further into alignment with yourself. Anywhere where you're out of alignment, this is going to get you further into alignment with yourself.